meetings today. I had one at like 9:30 to 10, and yeah, and then I had one somebody made 10:30 to 11. But then in my 9:30 to 10, I was talking to them and they're like, oh, I think I can cancel the meeting. And I'm like, okay, so I'm optional. And then they're like, okay. But then the meeting time happened, and then it's like 10 minutes past, and someone from the meeting is like, oh, we're looking for you. And then I'm like, oh, I thought it was optional. And then there's a meeting right now, 11 to 12. But again, I'm optional, I think. So I'm not going, because last week none of my team went. So my boss went, but yeah. And I have a meeting 3 to 4, and we're going to lunch today, 12 to 1. I wanted Chick-fil-A, but this guy declined Chick-fil-A, and then, yeah. So now we're not through Chick-fil-A, so we might do Jack's. I don't know. We'll see, but yeah. And I just ate a donut, because it's payday, which means the advanced projects girl always buys Krispy Kreme donuts. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'll take the 6. Why are you okay, I just want to get over this. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Take the ticket to the kiosk for an even bigger reward.
Go like a hair light or something.
I don't know. Hey, let's look at the
I
ball.
was gonna make them take a picture with me. All in one. Woohoo!
Is there anything else?
No.
Or just okay.
And it's just foam.
My coworker, who I've been close with and stuff like that, told me today that his last day is on Friday. So it's a little sad. He's like, I need to talk to you. And then I'm like, okay. So then we went for a walk on the floor, and then he told me, and then we were standing by like an oven, like kind of talking about it, and we were only talking about it for like a minute, and then some lady comes up and then starts talking, and she's like, what are you guys talking about? You guys telling secrets? And we're just like, no. And yeah. And then I don't know, then she interrupted us, and then she started talking for like a bit, and then so then we went outside, because we're like, oh, like, we're not gonna get bothered outside, you know. And then we're outside, and then this other guy is like parking, and then he gets out of his car, and then he comes and talks to us too, and then we walk in the building together. And yeah, but it's sad. But yeah, but me and that guy are gonna go to lunch on Friday, because it's his last day on Friday. We're gonna go to Jack in the Box, because he likes Jack in the Box. But yeah, I had one meeting at 10 to 10:30, and that was fine. And yeah, me and the guy talked about stuff, and then I went to go talk to the quoting about the conversation I had just had with that guy in my meeting. So then that took like 15 minutes, and then I'm like, I don't want to go all the way to my desk. So I didn't go to my desk. I went to the PM area, and then I chilled there for like 10 minutes. Then I went to my meeting at 11. That was 11 to 11:45, but that lasted, I think, 11 to 11:30. So then I went back to my desk, did a little bit of work and stuff, prepared for my meeting I had at 12 to 1. I know it's lunchtime, but like me and the guy who I had the meeting with, we like planned that and stuff like that, because he knows that I go to lunch late, and he said, let's meet at 12 to 1. So then I'm just like, okay. So then like all morning, like in between my meetings and stuff like that, I was like preparing and looking up hotels and stuff, because last night he's like, how about you find hotels near Anaheim Convention Center, because we're gonna have like a team go there and stuff. And yeah, but I found like 5 or something hotels. He gave me the budget, and yeah. And then in our meeting, I asked him who all the people who are like contenders to go, and yeah, then we went to his desk, and then he has these new tablets, which are called like Joan, and they help like manage meeting rooms. So you put them outside their screens, and they're connected to the calendar. It's kind of cool. So from yesterday, I made a lunch 12 to 1:15 with the guy who's leaving, just us two. And I picked the location as Jack in the Box, because I know that this guy loves Jack in the Box. It's kind of funny, but yeah, he like loves it, and he always likes to get their deal. It's like $1 for 2 tacos or something like that. Yeah, so I knew he liked Jack in the Box. And then last night, as I was like looking at the calendar and stuff, then I noticed that he had on his calendar the 12 to 1:15 blocked off, which was the event I made. And then he also had 12 to 1, so then that means somebody else found out and booked him for lunch too. So yeah, so I'm like, So this morning I looked up like a whole bunch of different people who I thought might ask him to go to lunch once they found out. And I found somebody, like his neighbor, who I thought, and then I talked to him in the morning and I'm like, oh, you're double booked. Like, did you tell anybody else? He said no. But like his manager probably told his group because his group is gonna now have to cover, you know. So then like after lunchish time, then I saw him walking, and then he was like talking to people, but then I like waved him to come over to my desk, but then he just like kept going, and I'm like, oh, like maybe he didn't see me, but he did see me. So then he came back, and then he's like, what's up, kid? And then I'm like, since you're like double booked, like I don't want to make you choose. So yeah, I was like thinking about it, and then I'm like thinking about that phrase. I can't remember the exact phrase, but it's like, if there's 2 choices, don't pick me. Like, because if there are 2 choices and you have to make a choice, I'm not worth it, you know. So I deleted the event from the calendar. Yeah, because like I'm not gonna make him choose. I don't want to do that. So yeah, so I'm like talking to the advanced projects girl about, I don't remember, but yeah. And then this guy comes up and he's like, oh, question. And I'm like, okay. And then he's like, are you guys taking that guy out to lunch? And then I'm like, I don't know, because I booked him, but then somebody double booked on top of me, so I bowed out and I'm not invited to the other one. And they're like, oh. So then I go and talk to this guy that's leaving, and then I'm like, oh, multiple people want to have lunch with you, including me, but like, yeah, you can either merge them all and make it a whole big lunch thing, or you have to pick which one. But like, I already bowed out, so now you have 2 groups to pick from. And then he's like, I don't want it to be a whole big lunch thing. And yeah, and then he's like, and I wanted to go to Jack in the Box with you, because that honestly sounded really good, because he loves Jack in the Box. But yeah, but he's like, how about at my new place, we get Jack in the Box at lunchtime sometime. And then I'm like, wait, what? Like, is your new place like around here? And he said, yeah. So I think that's in the works, that me and him are gonna get Jack in the Box together. Still, but yeah, he ended up declining the one that overlapped on top of me and then accepting the 3rd offer. Yeah, when I went to go talk to this guy, then we're just like staring at each other, and then I'm like, you know what I'm gonna say? And then he's like, I saw you remove the thing. And I'm like, I'm not gonna make you choose. So yeah, today was my coworker's last day of work. Kind of sad, but yeah. His exit interview was at 4 to 4:30. Of course, they make it like at the end of the day, make him work the rest of the day. But yeah. So after my meeting, my PM friend and I took a walk outside, like a lap around the building, like we do if we have time. And yeah, and then I got back inside and stuff, and then it's like 3:30, and I'm gonna like walk somewhere on the floor, and then I see that guy, and then he like points at me, and then I'm like, what? And then he's like, I've been looking for you. And then I'm like, sorry, I was in a meeting. So yeah, so then like 3:30 to 4, I try and help him with like cleaning his computer and stuff. And then it came like 4 o'clock, and then he was like rushing to get stuff off, and he also like saved, I told him how to save a PDF of the farewell email and all the people who said stuff back to him, and it was cute. But yeah, we saved it on his flash drive. But yeah, and then at 4 o'clock, then I left, and it's like 4:30, and then this IT guy chats me, and he's like, did that guy leave? And then I said, yep. Which means the guy that left didn't say bye to the guy that chatted me, which is a little sad. Then I'm like sitting at my desk, and then the guy that left calls me, and then I'm like, hello, and then he's like, what are you doing? And then I told him like, oh, I'm talking to this other person about something, but like I'm done now, like what's up? And then I'm like, you didn't say bye to, and then I told him the name of the person. He's like, oh shoot. And then yeah, and then he's like, oh, by proxy, tell him by proxy I said bye. So then I chatted the guy and I'm like, oh, he said by proxy, he told me to tell you bye. And then yeah, then we chatted a little bit, but like with the conversation that was happening, it was obvious that I was talking to that guy. Like my desk area could tell, at least my neighbor for sure could tell. On another note, like at like maybe like 4:45 or something, then my boss comes up to my desk and he's like, did this person, the IT person, talk to you? And then I'm like, about what? And then he's like, Atlassian? Or yeah. And then I'm like, oh, like the conference? And then he said, yeah. And then he's like, oh, so you know about it? And I'm like, yeah. And then he's all like, oh, like, are you interested in going? And then I was like, I think it'd be interesting to see what it's like. So then he's like, okay. So like, I don't know if he's saying okay as in like, was like questioning it, or if he just wanted to make sure I was okay with it, or if he thinks it's like a dumb idea that I said I'd go. But yeah, I don't know. But that IT guy chatted me earlier today and said that my boss approved already, so yeah. It's 5 o'clock. Daylight savings, or ending, one of the two. And it's literally so bright out, kind of crazy. But yeah, I love it, and then I can wear my sunglasses. It's Monday, March 10th, and I just left, I left my work at like 5, like normal and stuff, and then I'm like, there's like a unprotected left turn, and I was like sitting at that, and then there's like cars coming and stuff, and then this car that I recognize, a black Ram pickup, was like pulling up, and then they like turn signaled, and then I'm like, and then since I'm waiting, because like, you know, I don't know if they're going straight or they're turning, then it's my old coworker whose last day of work it was on Friday. And yeah, and then right away then I called him. So I called him as we're both like driving opposite directions, because I'm not going to turn around, and yeah, turns out he forgot his lunch bag, and so he came back to get it. It was good seeing him though. I got added to a group chat about the trip for the work conference, and they asked like what airport you want to fly out of, and 3 guys plus 1 female are taking one airport, and then me and this other girl are taking a different one. And also in the group chat, like at like maybe like 4:45 or something, then one of the people who's helping plan it and stuff like that was all like RSVP to this like immediately, and then I'm just like, okay. So then he chatted me individually because we were already chatting, and then I clicked the link, and then it was an invitation to an event at the House of Blues in LA. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, there's some event, so we'll see what this is all about.